We haven't released this, my team and I, but about 4 years ago, we did a research study with a neuroscience university lab at the University of British Columbia. Ironically, the lab was called the Smart Lab, and our program, my program that I've created, is called SmartBody SmartMind. No connection. It was just pure coincidence. Maybe, maybe not. But they offered us a write-up to the results. And in the end, we started with 86 participants who went through our SmartBody SmartMind 12-week program. And in the end, because of attrition, this happens in human studies, 41 was our final number. For those of you that know science, the power was 41. So we had 41 subjects in the end. And what this researcher was researching is interoception. And so she's talking about the need to have bottom-up approaches. And so here's what she writes directly. So I'm going to read a little bit. She writes, research demonstrates that we must have bottom-up approaches using interoceptive awareness, and they are underutilized in many mainstream mental health approaches. This is particularly relevant for people who may have been exposed to different types of trauma, including childhood adversity. And trauma can negatively impact one's ability to connect with and feel safe in one's own body. Here's what the study revealed. So this is a real study using SmartBody SmartMind. The study revealed several significant findings. First, it was found that, as anticipated, the program did result in several increases in participants' somatic and interoceptive awareness relative to baseline. So we tested people at the beginning and we tested them at the end, and we saw this increase in interoception, awareness of insides. Specifically, they reported, this is super cool, greater trust and safety in their body, as well as less worrying about bodily experiences. Does anybody get that? You feel something and you instantly are afraid that you have cancer or a blood clot or an ulcer or something is wrong. Tie that into the baby that feels distress and nobody comes to soothe that. You see that connection? If we're never taught, this is okay, this is just hunger, or this is okay, this is just the heat of your immune system because you just opened up your skin due to a fall, or this is okay, this is just a little mild fever because your body is fighting an infection. If you don't have that feedback from the outside world, from another human being with calmness and regulation, we will fear what we sense inside. And this is the crux of getting through really tough symptoms, is being able to sense discomfort and not go into more fear because of the discomfort. I hope that makes sense. Compared to baseline, participants also showed greater self-compassion, as well as a trend towards improvements in relationship functioning. So isn't that interesting that this happened just by focusing on interoception, just by working with the body and the viscera, as is taught in SmartBody SmartMind. We're not doing therapy with the mind. We're not working with emotions directly, but these relational and senses of just better self-worth and self-compassion were coming up. As well as participants also self-reported specific improvements in cognitive function, including their ability to focus and regulate their attention, avoid distraction, and be better organized. Although these findings were based on self-report, most participants performed well on the cognitive testing at baseline. So people were mentally pretty sharp, but it continued to hold and got better towards the end. That's what that means. People who had mental health challenges reported doing slightly better in terms of being less distractible and less over-identified with their problems. Again, key piece there. When we have stuff going in our body that we can't understand and we aren't able to focus strategically on our internal environment, we feel like we're living in chaos. Does anybody know a little bit about that? And we don't know what to do with all these things zooming through. So again, we can learn this through neuroplasticity. We can learn how to find this ability to have better focus and be less identified with these symptoms. Final couple sentences here. Those with high ACEs, so adverse childhood experiences score, this is a study that connected early adversity with illness later in life. So those with higher ACEs seem to benefit more from the program than those without, including a greater reduction in perceived stress, overall physical symptom severity, and reduction in trauma-related functional impairments, as well as a trend towards higher resiliency. So we haven't published this. They're still trying to find a journal to publish this in. It takes time to do these things. But I really wanted to share that because often people ask, Irene, do you have any data, evidence-based research data to back up your programs and all that? And here we are. We have our first study. And of course, we've got thousands of people who have gone through the programs with positive results.